Alex Watkins here, Global Marketing Manager for Asmodee. So I look after FFG, which we're going to talk about here, and as well as other studios.
How is Organised Play going?
Organised Play is going well. We have one of the great challenges we have, and it's a great opportunity that we have, is so many different games to get Organised Play out for. We have multiple games, multiple formats. Every game's different. Every game needs a different treatment. And as such, it's a constant shift for us to make sure we're providing what's right for the game. With X-Wing 2.0 coming out, what we do for X-Wing is going to change. With L5R, we've evolved what the Organised Play is to offer more for in-store with the Elemental seasons. And then with other games coming out, with Keyforge, which is a unique game with so many possibilities, that's going to have another unique offering as well. So we have a great challenge that we have to overcome, but we have a lot of fun trying to get it right. And I think we're in a pretty solid state right now. We're catching up a bit, but if I'm being honest, I think we're in a really good place right now.
At what speed is Organised Play growing across the world?
Rapidly. I had a great call with a colleague in Australia just the other day, and we were looking at how many kits are going out there for Keyforge, and the numbers are really solid. Stores are really getting engaged with the new games coming out. The change in how regionals worked for some of our games, so where stores no longer have to apply for the regional level things, they just have to prove they can run that size event, was something we trialed with X-Wing and Legend of the Five Rings. And that's we're waiting our feedback on that as they start hitting stores in the coming months. It'll be interesting to see how that experiment worked, but I think that's an interesting way of looking at our larger in-store offerings. And looking at the number of kits that got ordered from those, that would appear to be very positive. Now we've just got to see if the execution matches the hype beforehand. So it's it's growing. It's a nice steady growth. We keep adding extra games, so it's going to naturally grow. The workload's going to grow on that. And I think it's fun. It's fun. We're playing games. It's good fun.
Can you tell us about some of the formats that you've looked at for Organised Play for Keyforge?
Keyforge, wow. Gosh, there's lots of potential game modes for that, and we've already announced a lot of them. But we are playing around with a few others back at house as well, trying to decide what fits the style. It's got its own personality, Keyforge, so it's going to have some different ways of doing things. Our larger events are hopefully going to allow people to play various game modes throughout the day or weekend. And yeah, We've already put a lot out there. We're going to see the Dawn of Discovery kits hit the stores as launch in a couple of weeks' time. We're here now doing a preview launch here in the Oval, one of 6 in Europe, where we're getting people together earlier, small exclusive events where people get a chance to play a bit earlier. We're also doing the early events in-store, so a week before launch you can go in and play as well, 5 days or so before launch. So yeah, we're already doing a lot more with Keyforge. We're going to see how these kits come out, see what the feedback is. We're working on what's going to come out next year. And yeah, I'm really excited for what we can do with this game.
Do you want to do more of this style of pre-launch event for future games?
I think well, as you're aware, we did it with Legend of the Five Rings in London, and that was an absolute blast to do that, bringing the old community with the new community. With Keyforge, we had no old community, so we've done things a little bit differently. We've ticketed the events, made them exclusive, made them fairly small, and I think it's going to be successful. So far, today's gone really well. So yeah, I think whenever we launch a new game, we should be doing something like this. I feel like everyone wants to get something that a little bit earlier, and every player feels that little bit special by being able to play it earlier and take something physical away from the event, whether it's a participation prize, in this case a deck and all the keys and tokens. And then from a marketing standpoint, that's great. That's going to create buzz and hype, and people are going to talk about it. So yeah, absolutely. As we go forward with new game launches, I think it makes absolute sense to try and incorporate something like this in our program.
For the Arkham Horror Living card game, we're seeing the second year of the Invocation style events.
Yep.
Is this now going to be an annual event, do you think?
I hope so. They've proven extremely popular. Last year, we probably could have printed another 50%, and would have, as you know, we print OP to order, and I think we could have gone over and probably still been okay. I mean, we try not to with these sort of things. We've got to be accurate, we've got to be resourceful. But yeah, and it's been hugely popular again this year. And it's gonna continue to grow. It's possibly one of those games that could get a bit more love in the future. Maybe I don't know. An annual event seems about right now. The amount of work that goes in to create that scenario. It's not like you can just go, let's print some promos and off you go, like you could with maybe another game. A lot of time and investment goes into it. But yeah, I would imagine. I can't see it going anywhere in the foreseeable future. Let's put it that way.